Today we are going to take up physical equilibrium, chemical equilibrium, homogeneous, heterogeneous equilibrium, equilibrium constant, characteristic of equilibrium constant, and factors affecting equilibrium. First, we are going to take up what is equilibrium. Equilibrium represents the state of a process in which the properties like temperature, pressure, concentration of the system do not show any change with the passage of time. Now this process will occur, or equilibrium will be attained when rate of forward process is equal to rate of backward process. Now, after the equilibrium is reached, the observable properties like temperature, color, density, pressure, concentration of system do not show any change with time. If the opposing processes involve only physical changes, the equilibrium is called physical equilibrium. That is, we have same substance in equilibrium but in different physical state. For example, water solid is in equilibrium with water liquid, or water liquid is in equilibrium with water gas. This type of equilibrium is called physical equilibrium. And if the opposing process involved are chemical reactions, then this equilibrium is called chemical equilibrium. So we have differentiated between physical equilibrium and chemical equilibrium. In physical equilibrium, we have different states of same substance, different physical states of same substance. Whereas in chemical equilibrium, we have chemical processes which take place in both the direction, that is forward direction as well as backward direction. The mixture of reactants and products at equilibrium is called equilibrium mixture. So it means that equilibrium mixture consists of reactants as well as products. Now, since the reversible reaction do not lead to completion, therefore some of the reactants will remain unreacted when equilibrium is reached. So they will not be able to change into products completely. So that's why we are taking the mixture of reactants and products at equilibrium. The equilibrium can be established from both physical processes and chemical reactions. As we have discussed that physical and chemical equilibrium, both types are possible. That is, equilibrium can be attained in the physical processes as well as in chemical processes. The reaction may be fast or slow depending upon experimental conditions and the nature of reactants. Now, when the reactants in a closed vessel, now underline this in mind, closed vessel, because in open vessel, products will escape and equilibrium cannot be attained. So, when the reactants in closed vessel at a particular temperature react to give products, the concentration of reactants keeps on decreasing. As the time passes, the reactants gets consumed, and because reactants gets consumed, so their concentration will keep on decreasing, whereas concentration of product will keep on increasing because products are being formed. So with the time, concentration of reactant is decreasing and concentration of products is increasing. But once the equilibrium is reached, there is no further change in concentration of either of the reactants or products. In other words, when we find that the concentration of reactants or products become constant, it means that the equilibrium is reached. This stage of system is called dynamic equilibrium. Now, why we call it dynamic equilibrium? Because once the equilibrium is reached, it doesn't mean that reaction will stop. It will appear to stop because rates of forward reaction as well as backward reactions become equal. So since the reaction continue, that is why we say that equilibrium is dynamic in nature. And the equilibrium means that the rate of forward as well as reverse reaction become equal. Now it is due to this dynamic equilibrium stage that there is no change in concentration of various species in the reaction mixture. So since there is no change, it looks like that the reactions have stopped. But actually reaction has not stopped. They are taking place in both the directions. forward as well as backward direction, they appear to stop because there is no change in color, density, concentration, appearance in the reaction mixture. Based on the extent to which reaction proceed to reach the state of chemical equilibrium, there we can classify them into three groups. Now these three groups are based on how much extent of reaction has taken place. The first type reactions we are taking that proceed nearly to completion and only negligible concentration of reactants are left. In some cases, it may not be even possible to detect these experimentally because these reactions are extremely fast. And in these cases, the value of equilibrium constant will be extremely high. Second type of reactions are those in which small amount of products are formed and most of the reactants remain unchanged at the equilibrium stage. Now in this type of reactions, equilibrium constant K is very small because product concentration is very small, reactant concentration is very large, so their ratio will be very small, that is the equilibrium constant. Third type of reactions are the reactions in which concentration of reactants and products are comparable, means they are not much different. Then we say that the system is in equilibrium. And here K will have moderate value, close to 1. Next we are taking equilibrium in physical processes in detail. The characteristics of the system at equilibrium are better understood if we examine some physical processes. The most familiar examples are phase transformation processes. Phase transformation means the solid changes to liquid, liquid changes to gas, or solid changes directly to gas, and this process, solid changing directly to gas, is called sublimation. Solid changing to liquid is called melting, and liquid changing to gas is called boiling or vaporization. Difference is boiling takes place at boiling point, whereas vaporization takes place at all temperature. So the equilibrium between solid and liquid of the same substance, or liquid and gas of the same substance, or solid and gas of the same substance, is called physical equilibrium. Next, we are going to take up a diagram where we are going to explain liquid vapor equilibrium. Here we have taken a closed container in which we have put anhydrous calcium chloride. Now, anhydrous calcium chloride has a property of absorbing water from atmosphere. So, whatever water was there present in this closed container is absorbed by calcium chloride. Now, we remove this calcium chloride and put a dish of water in the same container. This is a manometer which can measure pressure. Now, when dish of water we have kept here, so what happens? Water starts vaporizing and changes into vapors. Now, these vapors will exert pressure and the level of mercury in manometer increases due to increase in pressure. So, in the beginning, what happens that the rate of evaporation is faster, and this is a closed container, and after some time the condensation of vapors into liquid will also start, which is the backward process. And when condensation starts, at one stage the rate of evaporation becomes equal to evaporation of liquid water to water vapors, and rate of condensation water vapors to water liquid becomes equal. At this stage, the manometer will show the same level of mercury, that same pressure which was earlier. So this is the stage of equilibrium when rate of forward reaction, that is evaporation, is equal to rate of backward process, that is condensation. So rate of evaporation is equal to rate of condensation, and water liquid is in equilibrium with water vapors at a particular temperature. Now we are going to take up next type of equilibrium, solid vapor equilibrium. In solid vapor equilibrium, for example, this involves those substances which can sublime. Sublime means directly change into vapors. For example, iodine solid changes into iodine vapors. So if we carry out this process in a closed container, so we will find there is a equilibrium between iodine solid and iodine vapor at a particular temperature. And since iodine is violet vapors, so those violet vapors will be clearly visible and at that temperature the intensity of violet color will become constant when the equilibrium is reached. Similarly, camphor solid can also sublime, and there is an equilibrium between camphor solid and camphor vapor. This is another example of solid vapor equilibrium. Ammonium chloride solid can sublime, and there will be an equilibrium between ammonium chloride solid and ammonium chloride vapors. All these are example of solid vapor equilibrium.